In the news tonight, a religious leader adds her voice to the outcry against gun violence. The National Organization of Women concerned about recent attacks targeting women. A woman dies after her vehicle collides with a utility pole. And in sports, double crown BFA champs Weymouth Wales hire a new head coach.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. Thank you so much for tuning in. In our top story tonight, as the outcry against Barbados' latest shooting incident and gun crimes in general continues, a religious leader added her voice to the concern and condemnation of such violence. Reverend Dr. Lucille Baird of Mount Zion's Missions says the church is worried about the significant increase in violent acts taking place in public areas, putting innocent lives at risk. The most recent shooting occurred at a service station where one man was killed while a male gas station attendant suffered gunshot injuries. Reverend Baird addressed the issue this morning at the Granville Williams bus terminal, where she paid the bus fares for commuters as part of her church's 30th anniversary celebrations.
Especially just hearing a few days ago about that shooting in the gas station in St. Philip. To me, that's horrendous. It says that we have reached a place where these gun-toting young men are callous and careless and criminal-minded to the point where they don't think about the other person. They don't think about the danger that they're putting the other person in, the risks that they're causing to other citizens of this nation. And that concerns me because if for some reason that bullet had gone somewhere else, you could have had an explosion in a gas station. That bothers me, the type of criminal minds that we have using guns. So something must be done.
While noting the church is in communities working to get the vexing issue of violence under control, Reverend Baird is making it abundantly clear it is time the influx of guns into the island is stopped.
If somebody knows how the guns are getting in, put a stop to it. We keep saying that people know and all of that. If you know where the guns are coming from, and who is the person who is sourcing those guns, and who is behind the influx of guns and whatever into the country, be strong enough to deal with it.
Just yesterday, Acting Police Commissioner Erwin Boyce assured the public that lawmen are focused on getting the crime situation under control, particularly as it relates to gun-related incidents. A video circulating on social media showing a woman being beaten by robbers has prompted the National Organization of Women to advise females to take precautions to protect themselves and their families. President Melissa Savory Gittins tells CBC News women are concerned about that video and another showing a man ringing the doorbell at a house reportedly in the wee hours of the morning.
And I know persons have been calling me, that they are not sure where you can go now. Even with the shooting in the gas station, they're just people just standing by and being affected, although they are not a part of what's happening. So violence to this form, especially against women, is sad and unfortunate, but the wider issue is the overall surge of violent crime within country. So I would encourage Barbadians, women alike, to take extra precautions when going about their daily activities.
Ms. Savory Gittins is encouraging women to stay aware and alert, especially when walking the streets. She's advising them to limit their distractions, particularly on cell phones, when making their rounds.
And if something feels uncomfortable, trust your instincts and get out of the situation, go somewhere else, call somebody if you need to, and, maybe even carry protective tools. Some people might say mace or something. But in a situation where somebody has a gun, you don't want to further to aggravate that situation as much as possible. And to do what these ladies did in their home and to secure your homes with cameras if you can. And don't answer any strange knocking or calling at that hour in the morning.
Two men who were the subject of wanted bulletins are now in police custody. In a statement, police say 17-year-old Mary Welch of First Avenue, Haynesville, St. James, and Mario Harris of Bartlett's Tenantry, Sergeants Village, Christchurch, are assisting with investigations. Welch presented himself with an attorney earlier today, while Harris was arrested by police yesterday. The Barbados Police Service thanks the public for their assistance. The Barbados Meteorological Services has extended its high surf advisory. Choppy sea conditions are continuing to affect the island's western coastlines, stretching from Sherman's in St. Lucie to Blackwood's Screw Dock in Bridgetown. Meteorological Assistant Francois Carvalho says these conditions are predicted to persist into tomorrow, with some improvement overnight on Thursday.
Small craft operators and beachgoers should be prepared for the possibility of possible overtopping of waves onto property and road in very close proximity to the shoreline. Some damage to coastal homes and roads is possible. Some beach erosion is possible if beaches are submerged. Possible loss of life or injury. You can also expect delays in the port due to possible closures or berthing challenges.
Mr. Carvalho further encourages marine users to monitor the BMS, the Department of Emergency Management, and the Government Information Service websites, as well as local media for any updates. Berger Paints Barbados Limited and the Barbados government have teamed up for the ongoing We Gathering 2025 celebrations. That's according to Berger's Chief Financial Officer, Jean-Marie Hippolyte, who says they will be commissioning 2 murals in 2 parishes and will be launching their repainting campaign soon. He says Berger has enjoyed a 5% increase in its retail channel sales over 2023. Mr. Hippolyte was speaking during the handover of a $10,000 check to the winner of their Christmas is Better with Berger promotion, Chantel Thomas.
There are some crickets and some road tennis games that we will be supporting. In addition, we will be having a campaign here for Bajans returning. They'll get discounts based on the area. Discounts will be through the year, and depending on the parish you live, you get a discount. The parish that's celebrating the regathering, they will get a discount to suit, and that is to support Bajans returning home. Whether they're coming back to buy a home or do construction, they will have discount. And whether it's family here in Barbados that are getting ready for family returning, they have the option to spruce up their homes as well to accommodate them returning home.
Ms. Thomas says she was surprised and shocked upon receiving the call. She's in the process of renovating her home.
We still have more to do, so the grand prize is actually quite welcomed, as we now will move to the kitchen. But yeah, I really am shocked and still very surprised. And I'm sure that Renee is playing a prank on me. But thank you. Berger has the best colors.
The sad news now, a 43-year-old woman is dead following a road traffic collision. Deputy Divisional Commander for the Northern Division, Acting Superintendent Roland Cobbler, says the accident occurred about 3:30 p.m. along KNR Husbands Highway at its junction with Chapel Street, Speightstown in St. Peter. He says the woman, who was the driver of the vehicle, collided with a utility pole and died at the scene.
Our preliminary investigations reveal that the vehicle was traveling along the said road in a southerly direction when the vehicle collided with a utility pole. Unfortunately, the driver died here at the scene. Her 4-year-old son has not complained of any injuries. Our investigations will be continued into this matter. We appeal to anyone who may witness this collision to contact the District E Police Station at 419-1730.
Meanwhile, Wendell McLean, cousin of the deceased, identified her as Tara Blackman and said she had left work at Darrell Jordan Secondary School and was on her way to collect her other son.
The older boy is at Alexandra School, so he was waiting for his mother. He got a call that something happened and he rushed out through another door. It's only afterwards we heard that the car was her car. So we came to investigate and found that the car is indeed her car. but other people who probably 1 or 2 or the other teachers or somebody who are in the vicinity assisted in getting the younger child out.
Well, coming up, the Barbados Consulate in New York to establish a business network. The services of the Barbados Consulate in New York are set to be transformed in the near future. Word of this from Consul General of Barbados in New York, Lorenzo Harewood, who spoke exclusively with CBC. He believes Barbadians living abroad continue to have a keen interest in the success of the island, and his job is to facilitate the sharing of ideas between the diaspora and Barbados. With an emphasis on sustainable development and investments, Mr. Harewood explains the consulate will establish the Barbados Business Network in March 2025. He adds this network will enhance business opportunities for Barbadians.
And this business network will focus on capitalizing on all of the established entities up in New York and the other 10 states that we cover in terms of their businesses, whether they're registered businesses or unregistered businesses, whether it is a Barbadian that owns a large advertising firm to the Barbadians in Canarsie that own the Puddin and South small shops under in their basements as well. So the idea is really to create an economic ecosystem amongst all of the Barbadians who have a particular interest in business. The other idea is to create an ecosystem that includes those who are not Barbadians but have an interest in investment in Barbados as well.
The Consul General told CBC News there are over 100 applications for the business network, and that bodes well for Barbadians living abroad. He says in addition to the Barbados Business Network, the establishment of the Barbados Consulate Liaison Network has made operations more efficient.
And the network is 35 persons strong. They don't have the performative role and all of the instruments as an honorary consul, but they're simply a group of persons across the different states that call in from time to time. We have a functional meeting every 3 months, and they let me know what is happening. They let me know what is a good time to come and visit the diaspora, what's a good time to have conversations with the different chambers of commerce, and they let me know where opportunities exist.
Graduates of the elderly care program are being urged to continuously educate themselves as they embark on their journey. The call from Elder Care Advisor in the Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Cynthia Ford. She was speaking during the graduation ceremony where 27 caretakers received certification.
But I want to admonish you all, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to know the do's and don'ts. And this training program that you would have just pursued should help you to be able to understand you are there to serve. And if you are not familiar with what is dementia or what is Alzheimer's and that aging process, get yourself a book from the library. Get somebody else who's in the National Assistance Board or a nurse. And we have a lot of Barbrets that we are not using the skills of the Barbrets either, because they were Barbadians who went to England and they were professional and some of them rose to the highest level, but now they're retired and they're back home. We need to tap into them to help us with preparing ourselves for the daily tasks that we will face.
Ms. Ford also urges them to serve with distinction despite the hurdles they may face in their daily tasks.
And then when you respond, oh, the only time you do government work? And every minute you pick up on people and kind of back here? No. Professionalism. It is like me in the classroom with the little ones, and they're crying and they're dribbling and so on. I can't slap them and say, go for in front of me. They might not have had any breakfast. The parents must have gone to work and left the child. The child has to become acclimatized to what's happening in the classroom. So the tolerance level you have with your children, in most of your situations, you have to have that element of tolerance with your senior citizens if you love what you're doing. And if you don't love what you're doing, please get out.
Barbados is set to become the hub for cybersecurity training throughout the region to build cyber resilience and the investigative arm. That's according to President of Digital Technologies and Services Neil Hines, who says they are working toward accomplishing this within the coming months. He tells CBC News following the conclusion of the Caribbean Digital Forensics and Cybersecurity Summit 2025, the technical team was impressed by the sessions with both the private and public sectors, propelling the decision which will benefit both law enforcement and private entities. Mr. Hines says the training, which will be conducted over a 2-week period, will be internationally accredited.
Because of the enthusiasm, especially in the public sector, and the need to enhance their capabilities as well as enhance the law enforcement, re-establish kind of the law enforcement arm to do digital forensics for traditional crimes as well as some cyber crimes, because some cyber crimes also have that digital component, but more so to be a fully equipped incident response unit to cyber crimes. We have decided that we are going to be tacking on training and certifications for law enforcement.
Well, last week was filled with celebration for Violet Unita Cox Small, who turned 100 years on January 6th. After having the president visit on her birthday, over the weekend, another event was held so the community could express its appreciation for her. Wendy Burke has that story.
Violet Unita Cox Small has been serving God from her young days, and it's a calling she won't move away from, having been raised by her grandmother.
David was small. I used to go to Sunday school. I had a grandmother raised me in St. George, but I was born in Britain's here, and my mother. She did working, and my father had plenty of food and money, so she tried to give me to my grandmother. It is my father, mother. She raised me. I went to school at St. Augustine. When I was at my grandmother every Sunday, the crowd of us got to go to Sunday school. Nobody was staying in the house, boy, girl, everybody. Even man got to get to come from Sunday school to church.
She also says she wanted to do the cinema with friends, but an issue guided her back to the church.
One over night, I was going to tell her, and somebody give me like a slap here. I feel a stiffness here. That's what you're going to do? We're going to do that there? You're going to serve God. And I ran, saying, leave the crowd. What happened to one? I ran from there to the cathedral. Not the people cathedral now, because you're in town. The last bell hit me, and my foot was right in the church.
She has 2 children, which she says she asked God to give her, having had the first at 17 and the other at 42, a situation which jumped her.
When I go to Lord, I want 2 children no more here, only 2. I want going to school, as I say, so.
Only 2?
2. I got them on Eve, but he gave me even at them.
She is popular in the community and known for sharing with all she comes into contact with. And that's why Ivan Speed Ford ensured the neighborhood committee visited her.
She was always a polite lady, you know. She always home most of the time and stuff. And her son and her granddaughter, I got to give her granddaughter a lot of credit, you know, because she's taking care of her father and her grandmother, and which is a blessing. I think that's helped her to reach the milestone she reached. We had a family day up here, and we give her a prize, you know, we give her a token, and we said, well, if she lived to 100, I would try to get the media to come and visit you. You know, here's a very blessed place.
And while she does have the ailments which come with old age, her granddaughter says this is the only mother she knows.
She raised me from when I was 1. When my mother went away with my sister and everything, she left me with her. Right, so she's like the only mom I know.
Here's wishing her a happy 100th birthday.
It's sports time now. Anne-Marie Burke is live in studio with the latest sporting action. Good evening, Anne-Marie.
Good evening, Lisa, and we have a lot to uncover tonight. We start with this news that there's a major change at the helm of 2-time defending BFA Premier League champions Weymouth Wales ahead of the upcoming 2025 season. The top local football club, which also won the Champions Cup knockout tournament last season, is set to appoint Asquith Howell as its new head coach. The former Barbados Defence Force sports program boss has met with Wales management and is expected to host a session with the players tonight. Howell succeeds Carlos Jackman, who has won 6 titles with the champion side. There has been no official word as to the switch in the head coaching job. The 2025 BFA season kicks off on Sunday. Well, Greenhouse Giants have completed the three-peat at Lawrence T. Gay. Competing today in their athletics meet at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex, two-time champions Green amassed 543 points, with Red House Rockets second on 521, Yellow House Tigers third with 480, and Blue House Panthers fourth with 453 points. CBC's Damien Best was there for the sprints.
Brilliant sunshine and festive atmosphere for Lawrence T. Gay Sports Day at the Usain Bolt Complex. We're launching this one with the under-7 girls 50-meter dash. Full field, all 8 lanes occupied. In the middle of the track, though, it's Navia Allenby of Red House blazing a trail. Ariana Carter of Yellow started to close ranks, but Allenby will take the victory in 12.38 seconds. Carter 12.39, and a mile holder of Blue third in 13.02. Red House made it 2-2 in the boys' equivalent. Compliments Shea Bab in lane 4. He looked over his shoulder a couple times, but it was a done deal halfway through. Stops the clock in 10.87 seconds. Housemate Aaron Sobers clocked 11.27, and third went to Kyrie Hines of Yellow in 11.48. Step up to the under-9s now, 100 meters. Look no further than the defending champions, Greenhouse, the Thalia Grazette boys in lane 5 with her arms pumping. Have the opposition cut down at the 50-meter mark. That top-end speed would ice the deal as well. 17.03 seconds. Araya Sobers of Red, second in 17.83. And Aaliyah Worrell of Green, third. Skip ahead a couple races to take in the under-11 boys. No, it was a ding-dong battle between Ranai Pierre Wong of Red and Raishon Grundal of Green. Pierre Wong in lane 8, digging deep with that short stride pattern. Looks like he will take it, and he does in the end on the line in 16.39. Grundal 16.46. Kamani Dotton of Green third. Under 13s now. Crisscrossing and a spill for the girls, all part and parcel of the competition. Lane 6 leads them though. That's Dwanex Jordan Ward of Blue House. No issues. Valuable points secured. 15.68 seconds the winning time. The big boys of the school to close out the 100s. Even Stevens at the 20-meter mark. Then Raldo Blackman Carrington of Yellow House said, see you later. Dusts them off in 14.23 seconds. Isaiah Lowe, also of Yellow, second in 15.23. And Red House snatching third. To end our highlight reel, the 80-meter dash for girls under 9. Lane 3, Gazette boys doing the double. That form, that class means she will be one to watch at Knapsack 2025. Eases past Sobers of Red. 13.45 seconds the winning time. Sobers 13.62. Worrell of Green third in 14.80. A wonderful time at the LT Gay Sports Day. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
Well, the 2025 track and field season actually started over the weekend with the New Year's Classic at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex. Let's look at some of the action from the 200 meters. Shaping up for the 2025 season, and the 200s are our highlights. Under 13 girls off the bench and into the final 100, and making all the running is Kaylee Hart on the inside of performers. She has kept her good form from last year and making a statement very early. She is one to watch, leading them home in a time of 28.90 seconds, head of pacers Zanaya Brung and performers Amelia Hall, who had a close second and third for 29.14 and 29.15 seconds. The under 13 boys ran in 2 heats, but we didn't need the second to get our winner, as here comes Nathan Phillips pouring down the straight, leaving the rest of the runners chasing behind him. Phillips, another athlete who has come into the new season with the same strong form as he did last year. Jump start star boy stopped the clock in 27.68 seconds. Second, but 6th overall, was teammate Razzie Prescott in 29.55. Off the bend with the under 13 and under 15 mixed race, and on the outside for the under 15s is Nazari Rice. He too's looking well tuned and easily taking it in 26.71 seconds for his Pacers track club. The under 17 girls and open women lined up together for this one, and from the first 100, Kaisha Husband stamped her authority. taking the open women's category win. On her heels, Gia Greenwich and Trinity Bishop from the under-17s, as they crossed the line in times of 26.86, 27.51, and 28.12 seconds. And here come your under-17 boys, just under 150 meters to go. And Jaquan Williams of Corrigan Parry has the edge, holding off the challenge of his teammate Jaco Devonish and extreme velocities with Sean Holder. Could Williams hold off the opposition as they head to the line? He does so in 23.57 seconds, ahead of Holder 23.66 and Devonish 23.94. The open men ran in 2 heats, but the first produced their winner off the bend. There's no denying who that would be. Watch the power and the form. A Mary Knight in the extreme velocity green, black, and white jersey, signed and sealed in 22.31 seconds. The 2025 track and field season is off and running. And I'll pause there, Lisa. When I return, I'll have news from road tennis.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. I'll see you then. Up next on Newsnight is the Business Report. In tonight's business, a young woman with a passion and a creative knack for balloon decoration is the focus of the Yes Business Report. Trevor Thorpe tells us more.
Shukwina Aline says every kind of event that utilizes balloons are her passion. Whatever the function or however it is themed, be it large or small, Dream Balloons can bring it to life. She adds that when Valentine's comes around, she caters to both men and women.
For Valentine's also we could do gift baskets for men, but more women would ask me about my baskets, so I did them for women. But for men we could also do baskets for you. We have surprise room decor for men. We could do a bubble balloon arrangements with alcohol bottles, anything to do for men. We could do anything with balloons.
She says Dream Balloons has partnered with the Vault Market to have a stronger presence in the marketplace. She also speaks of what is in the works for eager shoppers.
When you come to the Vault Market, you can see some work belonging to Dream Balloons, and in the next week or so, you can see decorations also from Dream Balloons. That if you have a store, you can also get these set up. You can set up your store, we can decorate your store as well.
With a little more than 1 year since opening the doors of Dream Balloons, she says the youth entrepreneurship scheme gave her the start she wanted.
Yes, it was really great. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and it showed me how to put it in play, I think, how to go about it, how to push myself and be well motivated. Yes, did exercises where they was showing me, like, the man put sticks on the table, and he was telling me how much sticks there was, but we had to listen to hear what he was saying. But when he was showing me and talking, he was trying to distract me, so we couldn't hear what he was saying. We was just looking and trying to figure out what the answer was. So in that exercise, it showed me you got to listen, and you got to be prepared. Be prepared for anything. As long as you're prepared for anything, you got it. And yes, actually taught me that.
The young entrepreneur is not daunted by the saturation of the market.
Dream Balloons is a balloon decorating business. We decorate balloons for weddings, graduations, birthday parties. We do surprise room decor, corporate events, baby showers, gender reveals. We decorate anything to do with balloons.
From humble beginnings, Dream Balloons has its eyes on the future.
Well, for short-term plans, we're just going to build a business and be known to Barbados. We want to be known to Barbados, and well, we could be known other places as well, but not yet. We're going to be known to Barbados first, decorate places in Barbados, and get out there.
And although new to the world of business, Miss Aline has some advice for anyone with a dream of having their own startup.
For me, for the newbies, don't stop, because they're going to have times where you will not get a booking, you won't get a phone call for the whole month, and then the next month, you fully work. So don't stop, don't give up. Believe in what you're doing and believe in yourself, and you can get it too. As long as you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing and you love it, you can do it. Don't let nobody discourage you from doing what you love.
The young entrepreneur says for 2025, she intends to make every opportunity she is given a balloon-themed event to remember. Trevor Thorpe.
The Barbados Bankers Association is calling on Barbadians and the general public to be vigilant when considering investments that promise large returns in a short time with little or no effort and risks. The caution came in a communique. The association is urging the public to undertake the necessary due diligence when making such decisions, including seeking professional advice. President of the association, Shimon McIntosh, says while Barbadians are encouraged to invest, especially in the advancing local economy, it is crucial that every effort be made not to be negatively impacted by fraudulent activities such as pyramid and Ponzi schemes. And that's business. Weather is next. Well, Carrie-Ann O'Neill joins us live in studio now to take us through the weather. Good evening, Carrie-Ann.
Good evening to you, Lisa, and good evening, everyone. Well, weak instability is impacting the island. However, we had mostly fair skies. Those winds are light to moderate across the region. They are peaking at 12 knots, and the seas, they're quite choppy, especially along the western coastline. There's a high surf advisory in effect. The maximum temperature today was 29 degrees Celsius, the minimum 23 degrees. At present, the temperature stands at 26 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity 72%. Those winds are coming in from the east. We take a look now at some atmospheric conditions across the region, where the temperatures are ranging from 24 to 26 degrees Celsius. The humidity shows moisture is building across a number of the islands, including here in Barbados, and the winds, they are light to moderate across the region. We take a look now at our satellite feed, where a shear line maintained wet conditions across the southern windwards. For us here in Barbados, though, we had mostly fair skies. The winds are peaking at 12 knots. The seas, moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2.5 meters. They are choppy along the western coastline. We do have that high surf advisory in effect. And we're urging beachgoers to utilize those beaches with an on-duty lifeguard. Now, later on tonight, we can expect a mix of clear and cloudy skies, along with just a few light showers. Further south, partly cloudy skies prevailed across the Guianas. And over now in the Western Caribbean, there is a cold front maintaining wet conditions across northern Bahamas. Elsewhere, had fair to partly cloudy skies. Well, that's our first look at the weather. After the break, we'll have the forecast. Welcome back. In the forecast for tomorrow, the sun is expected to rise at 6:24 and will set at 5:50. The first high tide is expected at 5:21 in the early morning, the first low at 10:30 a.m. Now, those seas are moderate in open water with swells peaking at 2.5 meters. We are urging small craft operators as well as sea bathers to exercise caution. Once again, we are reminded that the seas are choppy, especially along the western coastline. There's a high surf advisory in effect. The winds are coming in from the east and they're peaking at 30 kilometers per hour. For us here in Barbados tonight, we can expect a mix of clear and cloudy skies along with a few light showers. And over the next 3 days, partly cloudy skies along with some showers can be expected.
Let's head back over to the sports studio now for the second half in sports. Over to you, Anne-Marie.
Thanks, Lisa. I promised road tennis, and that's where we'll start. As the Harris Bay selecting the champion junior road tennis tournament has been narrowed down to the quarterfinals. CBC's Damien Best reports.
Let's get right into it, boys. 15-17, back Ivy the venue. Ahijah Blunt in the far court against Malachi Fort. Blunt looked in really good touch, and his power was efficient and effective, unsettling Fort. On too many occasions, Blunt was given the license to drive, and Fort would be handed a sow in the first game at 21-7. Not much change in the second, with Fort only benefiting from the unforced errors of Blunt, who tightened the screws. He was given free rein to step into the court and swing that racket, and also looked very competent playing the backhand. This was a done deal. Ahijah Blunt sending Malachi Fort packing at 21-7, 21-2. Let's change venues now. Sunday action at the Pinelands Hard Courts, 11 to 14 age group. Jacoby Ellis in the far court playing Michael Burke. Ellis comes into the court and finishes. Ellis up 7-3 in the second, having taken the first game at 21-7. Burke's turn, needing some momentum now. Ellis into the net on a couple occasions, but it was back to normal programming 2 plays later. That sat up nicely, and Ellis says thank you so much. The progression from these two was excellent to watch. Burke looking to cut into that advantage, but again, Ellis seeing it big, cross-court winner. For some strange reason, at 19-11, Ellis got to relax and pay the price, helping Burke draw closer. Even at game and set point, Ellis finding a way to undo his good performance. But with 1 point required, he would get across the line at 21-7, 21-14 over Burke. Ahijah Blunt picked up where he left off on Saturday to oust Joshua Carter on Sunday in 2 straight, loving the aggression and precise placement. A slow start for Carter proved detrimental as Blunt mixed up his delivery, and he would take the first game at 21-5. Carter escaped the soul with a switch of ends, but Blunt was locked in on making it to the quarterfinals, and he would wrap up this matchup in quick order, with Carter frustrated that he didn't produce more in this assignment. Blunt advancing at 5-11. Damien Best, CBC Sports.
Now, Armstrong Agency's IQ Lasco St. Michael's School went into celebratory mode over the weekend after claiming back-to-back titles in the BCA School's 3-day championship. Playing against Grandy Adams in the 11th and final series, St. Michael's School won by 7 wickets at Martindale's Road to end the season on a winning note after already having an unassailable lead before the final series. The final victory meant that SMS finished on 76 points, with Queen's College next on 52. The SMS coach Dario Cummings told CBC Sports that the hard work and discipline paid off in the very long season.
We would have set out early on in the season to win the title again, and that's what the boys would have done. It has been hard having limited resources, but the boys set out to put the best foot forward, and that's what we would have done. Most persons wouldn't attribute St. Michael to be a cricketing school, but we've been doing well for the last couple of years, and we just hope that continues. Right now, some of the boys on this team will be going to on the 15 trials, which starts the end of this month.
Liverpool had to come from behind to maintain their 6-point lead at the top of the English Premier League after drawing 1-1 against Nottingham Forest this evening. The result sees Forest move up to second, 6 points behind Liverpool, having played 1 more game. And that's sport. So back to you, Lisa.
Thanks, Anne-Marie, and we'll be right back after this break. And that's news for tonight. On behalf of the entire team, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.